Señor Jorge,
Buenas noches, don Mario.
buenas noches, buenas noches.
Ay,
¿Cómo está?
bien, estoy preparando. Vamos a hacer el Siyum de Shavuot mañana en el templo.
¿El film de qué?
De la última meseta, Shavuot,
Oh, ¿en dónde?
en el templo, en el Young Israel North Beverly Hills.
Oh, ahí va usted.
Sí, ahí es donde yo rezo. Por eso es que yo no me junto con ustedes, porque ustedes viven en otra parte donde estoy yo.
Sí, sí, sí. Yo tengo un primo de Inglaterra que cuando viene acá va a ese show.
¿Sabes por qué? Porque
Porque
el
los hijos viven
Donner
cerca.
es de Inglaterra.
¿Eh?
El rabino es inglés.
Oh, no sabía eso.
Sí, Donner es de Inglaterra.
Mm, nunca me dijo eso, pero le gusta ir ahí.
Tenemos bonitos miren.
Yo fui ahí cuando mi madre había fallecido, yo estaba en corte en Beverly Hills, eso me daba el tiempo justito para ir al CIR
Qué
ahí,
bueno.
pero no sabía que era inglés el rabino.
Sí, Rabbi Donner es de inglés.
Ujú. Actually están acá, se van mañana de vuelta, pero no sé si va todos los días o solo para el Shabbat. ¿Quién más vino? Ay, a mí.
Ay,
Ernesto, buenas noches.
buenas noches, buenas noches.
Ernie,
Tomorrow,
do
tomorrow,
you
yes,
periodically stay in touch with Hillel?
yeah, they send me texts periodically. Yes, Ruthie.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, they send me texts. He's had very bad luck.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, yeah.
Ay, anyway.
Tomorrow, I think 5:30 will work best because it avoids all the various minchas and all of that stuff.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
Okay. We're on Samech Gimel, 63, Amud Aleph. We're dealing with the concept of as esnan zona, that when you give to a zona an animal in payment for her services, so you're not allowed to be makriv that as a korban. And then, so we said, nosan lavachakach bala. If he gave her the sheep, and then only afterwards had relations with her, so lechiba aleha. So when he has relations with her, leichal aleh iser eslan lamafreya. Retroactively, the Isser of Esnan should go on the sheep that he had already given her. Because
Sorry, where are we holding on the
63, Samach
whereabouts? The beginning?
Gimel on the top. Leichel aleh Isser Esnan lamafreya. That if he already gave her the sheep, let's say a week ago, and then a week later he has relations with her, let there be an Isser of Esnan limafreya, retroactively, because it's clear that that's why he gave her the sheep. Amr Abelazar, kishakadma v'hikrivaso. Yeah, it would work, but she had already gone ahead and makriv that as an animal. So there's nothing available in existence for the Isser to chala. So the Gemara says, hey, Chidami, what's the case? Ida Amrla Knile, be coin of this sheep, me'achshav, from right now when I give it to you. So Pshita Deshari. So there's no problem if she was makrivit, because she's makriv and a week later she has relations with the guy. The animal's not there when they had relations. Therefore, matana ba'alma the yoivlo. It's just a gift. If he didn't say, be coin it now, so hechi matzah mekarfa. How could she bring such an animal to the base? It doesn't belong to her. It says v'ish ki yagdish es beiso kodesh lashem arachmana ma beiso b'shuso of kol b'shuso. Person can't be magdish something to the base of it doesn't belong to him. Elo damer la lavi gabeich ad biyad. You should have the animal with you until I have relations with you. But if for some reason you need it, k'nim e'asha. So in that case, the Baraisa was machadish to us that in that way it's mutter and it's not osir. So boy Rav Oshaya. Oshaya has the following theoretical question. Kadma v'higdishaso. The Zona went ahead and was magdish the animal before Bia, but was not offered yet. Mao. Do we say kiven domer mar ami rasal gavokim rasal lahedyoid? When you are magdish on the base of migdash, it's like you gave something to your friend, right? Regarding kinyan, it's like masira. So command akravisu dami. So it's as if she already offered it. And it's certainly not called an esnan. O dilma, hashta mi ha-koivisa beni. It's still around, it hasn't been offered. So maybe b'shas biyah there would be a chalois of the yisr. V'tivshid, we should answer this question, Rabbi Lozer. Dam Rabbi Eliezer, b'shekadma v'krivaso. We mentioned before, why is the esnan not there in the case where we said it's not usher? Because she went in and was makrivit. So dafka ikrivaso. That's only a case where she was actually makrivit. Aval higdishaso lo, but just being magdishit is not enough, and there would be an isser. So the Gemara says it's not an answer. Rabbi Eliezer gufe kama boile. Rabbi Eliezer was in doubt on this issue about Rabbi Shaimai. Mivshit pshitale, the Rabbi Eliezer shikavoso dafka aval higdishaso lo. Was it partial to him that it's only when she's makrivit and it's not around anymore? But if she's only magdishit and it's still around, there would be esnan and it would be osir. Da isa b'shaspi, because the animal is around when they have relations. O dilma hikrivosu pshitale. It's certainly pashut if she was makrivit already. The question is, they were in doubt. If all she did was magdishit, does that create the isser of esnan or not? Take. So the Gemara leaves it in doubt. The Baraisa that we learned yesterday also said, Bo aleha, if he had relations with the Zona and then achar kach nosan la, and then gave her a sheep, also esnena mutter. That sheep would be mutter as a korban. But v'riminu, I'll show you a steer from another Baraisa. Bo aleha achar kach nosan la, our case, afilu mikanat sholosh shonim esnena aser. Even from now until 3 years, the animal is usher. So how do you reconcile it to this previous Baraisa? If initially he said, have relations with me based on this sheep. So based on that, the sheep is hers right away, even if it's given to her many years later. And it certainly would be usher. Hada Amarla, Hisbali Bitlesta. He didn't designate a specific sheep. He said, just, I'll give you a sheep at the time of Bia. So therefore, it's not this sheep. And therefore, when he gives her that sheep after the act of Bia, it's not considered an esna. Freit the Gemara, just by telling her, have relations with me with this sheep, that doesn't give her ownership. She hasn't drawn the sheep to her. So there's no kinyan. So she doesn't own it. How could she magdish it? So the Gemara answers bezona goya. We're talking about a non-Jewish zona. The lokanya b'mashicha there's no kinyan with Mashiach, only money. The sheep was put into her courtyard, and whatever's put in your courtyard is kind of for her. Well, either koi b'chatzeira, then it's not a case of baal of achkak nosamla. It was baal and she had gotten already. Akanyale before the bia. So lo tzricha the shevi nili apoitiki. What happened was this sheep was designated as a default method of payment called an apoitiki. Listen, I'll bring you your money between now and 30 days, and then you give me back the sheep. So the sheep is like a mashkan. However, v'ilo, if I don't bring you the money within 30 days, shakle bet nanecha, then it's yours. Therefore, it's a case like that. And if it's in her chotzer, there would be a chalos of the esnan, it would be aser. Okay. Mosrif Rav Sheshes. Oimer Adam lechamara v'lepoyalov. Person says to his workers or to his donkey drivers who are goyim, and give them money, and he says, this is your payment. Go and eat your dinner with this money. Or or go and drink with this money. We don't have to be concerned that they're going to buy payros of shvius, lo mishum shvius, lo mishum meiser, lo mishum yanesach. If they buy something that's prohibited, so they're buying it for themselves and on their das, he doesn't have to be concerned. However, I'll pay you back. He doesn't give them money. He says, go and spend, bring me the receipt, and I'll pay you. So then it's usher. He has to be choishesh mishum shvius, mishum meiser, mishum yainesa. It's as if he bought it and gave it to him, and it's a dvar iser. Therefore, amaki kapara. This was the case where the person borrowed fruit from aniyim in the Shemitah year and then paid them back with fruits in the 8th year. So it's Demei Isser Kopara. When he pays them back, it's really prohibited. Even though the Shemitah fruits are not Be'en anymore. Ochanami. Ki Kopara, when they paid him back with fruits in the 8th year, Demei Isser Kopara, and therefore it's prohibited. Tigam Rav Chizda explained, Bechenveni Hamakifo. You're talking about a storekeeper who takes credit. People buy a whole month, and at the end of the month, they come in and pay their bill. So, Mishtabidlei, there's already a shibud that he has to pay him money once he gave food or drink to the workers. Kiven de Urchila Kufe, and since the derech is that people don't pay right away, they pay after 30 days. Chanile Dirna Gabe. So the Chenveni is coin of the money from that moment. And therefore, in the case of the Perush Shvius, it's as if he was paying them with Mamish Perush Shvius now. So what? Aval Chenveni she'en makifo. But let's say a storekeeper who doesn't take credit, demands payment right away. Ma. Mutter? It can't be, because if that's the case, the Baraisa should have been worded differently. Adatani rather than saying, go and eat with this dollar, lifluk v'lisna b'didei. It should have said, because we are saying, we're stipulating it's only a case with a storekeeper who takes credit. That's a problem. Oh, another kasha. A storekeeper doesn't take credit. Milo mishtabit? I mean, a balabayas who says, give my worker food to eat, there's certainly a shibud, even if he doesn't take credit. He says, give $100 to Chaim Yankel, and all of my assets will be behind it. Kana. So once the money is given, he's koine it. Midin Ariv, like a cosigner. Even the cosigner, he didn't receive any money, but he's chayv to pay back. So same thing in this case. Elamar Rav Loishna, Mekifa, Veloshna Hashem Mekifa. Makes no difference whether you're talking about a storekeeper that takes credit or not. There's always a his chayvus to pay. Afal gavdim mishabed lei. So even though there's a shibud to pay, kivan shalom yachid shibude, it wasn't specific where the payment was going to come from. Therefore, lo mitzvah. So therefore, the fruit or whatever the payment was shvius, it does become asur. So then why are we choishesh mishum shvius? Alom yachid shibude hacha. There's no shibud on the shvius. Amrav Papa, kagon shehigdim lo dinner. He gave in advance money to the storekeeper based on what the storekeeper gave to the workers to eat. It's as if the chen, he bought the Isser, that's what they were paid with the money of the Isser. Amrav Kahana, if that's correct, Aditani, again, why did the Brisa say, Tzu v'ichlu tzu shestuvani porea? Go and eat, and I'll pay back the storekeeper. That's not the proper language. It says tzu v'ichlu tzu v'shtu, v'ani mechashev meboile. And I will calculate what eventually I have, what's left for me to pay. You have to amend it and say tzu v'ani mechashev. However, Rav Ashi Amar kagon shenotov v'nosim biyad. The Balabayas himself is the one who bought the food, and he gave the workers. So he took it by himself. It shouldn't say Adatani tzuvachlu tzuvishtu. Tluvichlu, take from me. Beboile. Amar lo, yes, tni. Tluvichlu tlushtu. We said that if a worker works for a goy who's working with Yain Nesa, so he gets paid wages, he can't use those wages, it's usher. Yosef Rav Nachman v'Ulav Avimi bar Papi v'Yosef Rav Chia Barami Gavai. They were sitting all together. V'Yosef v'Kam Aboil. They asked the following question: Sachor lishvor b'yayin nesach. A worker was hired to take axe and to chop up all these barrels filled with yayin nesach. Mao. Mi abrinan. Listen, until he chops it up, kivin sherotza b'kiyumo osir. For that period in time until he breaks it, he wants these barrels to exist. Otherwise, he's not going to get paid. And therefore, the payment would be osir. Odilma, kol ute tifla shapidami. Listen, he's getting rid of 100 gallons of yain nesach. That's good for the world. Even though there's a slow period of time where he wanted it around. Amrav Nachman, yishbor v'tov alo. No, he can get paid. Let him break it, and we send him by Yashar Koyach. Lema Messiah. Let us say that the following brisa is support of what we just said, and this has to do with farming with a goy in a field of kloim. This we'll learn tomorrow. So we said tomorrow again. We'll learn at 5:30 because that way there's no problem with mincha and davening, and so 5:30 will be the daf.
Okay.